Welcome to Fidelity Net. Today we're going to talk about introduction to switch networking, and this is very important if you are doing CISCO certification. Chances are that you might be asked to perform this activity, and I'll be going through this activity with you. And let's take some time to do this exercise. This exercise is chapter 1 on CISCO switching and routing, activity 1.2.1.7 activity. So basically this is a frame. So when you have a frame, you have all this encapsulated. The frame is encapsulated with all these sessions. Okay, so you have your encapsulated data, you have end of frame, the length, type, the source, the MAC, the destination MAC address, the preamble. So in this case, we're going to, I don't want to go too much into all this. So this is a CISCO switch, CISCO Catalyst 2950 series switch, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It has 12 ports on it. Right now you can see that it's labeled F1, F2 through F12. So we're going to, the question is determine how switch forward frame based on the source, media access, destination, media access, and information in a switch MAC table. So the first question is, we have this table, you can just take a look at it, and this is the MAC table, and you know what MAC table is. So I'm not going to waste too much time on that. So we're trying to see where this computer, which is a source MAC address, will forward a frame to this destination MAC address. So the first source MAC address is OE, and the OE is trying to send a frame to a destination MAC address OA. So you look on the MAC table. The MAC table is actually a table where it's a table that is built into a switch, and it is software based, so it enabled the switch to learn about a previously communicated device. So the switch already knows about OB and OF. Okay, so let's say OF is a PC, which is this one right here. So the switch knows about that, so it has already added OF to its media access control table. It knows about OB, so it has also added OB to the MAC table. But the thing is, the source MAC address is trying to send a frame to OA. So let's come to the switch right here. So OE is right here. OE is trying to send a frame to this port, and we have a hub. Two PCs are connected to this hub, and then the switch, the hub is also connected to port 9. So when PC OE sends the frame, it goes through this hub, then it goes through this port 9. Okay, so the question we have to ask ourselves first is that when it comes to this switch, when it sends the frame to the switch, that this is an ingress port. So when it sends it out, when it comes to the switch will then look on the MAC address table to see if it already have this. But unfortunately, if you look on the MAC table, it doesn't have OE. So this switch doesn't know about this PC right here. So it has to add it to this MAC address, table. So this is very funny. You have to ask yourself some type of questions before you get used to it. So the first question is, where will the switch forward the frame? Okay, now we are trying to send a frame to OA, and OA is not part of the media access table. So what it will do is it will forward, a broadcast frame to all connected device. Okay, so when this comes, every device that is connected to this switch will receive um, a frame or a request. So whichever port or whichever PC respond to that request, the switch is going to learn about that, and it will add that MAC address to this MAC table. So look, OE sends the frame, it comes all the way in here. Then we're going to say if OE sends a frame to this port, it means F1 is connected. Okay, so obviously if a broadcast or a unicast frame is sent out, it will obviously be flooded to this connected PC. So we're going to check F port 1. Port 1 is FA1. Port 2, we have no computer connected to port 2. Port 3 is OB, so we have to check port 3. Look at port 4. Port 4 has nothing connected. Port 5 has OC connected, so you have to check on that. And port D is F7. We click on that because that one is also connected. So when this comes in, because this switch doesn't know about this, it has to learn about this device first. So we on the second answer, we have to choose switch as the source media access to the MAC table. Okay, now we are almost done. So F9 is the ingress port. So all these connected PCs, when we send a broadcast, actually it's not a broadcast, we have to send, I think, a unicast frame will be forwarded to all ports. So let's select unicast frame and check our answer to see if we are correct. Yes, we are correct. We are correct. That's correct. So are you getting what I am doing? I know you're getting it. That was amazing, because if you look at the MAC table, the MAC table is OB, right? Only knows about PCB and PCF, which is this PC right here, this PCB and PCOF. It doesn't know about this, so it has to first of all add the MAC address of this PC to the MAC address table. So that should be your first question for first answer for question 2. Then the second question is, once it learns about it, it doesn't also know about the destination address, because if you can see, the destination address is OA, but it's not on the MAC table. So the switch have to send a unicast frame, will be forwarded to all ports, all connected ports. Okay, so that was this. So let's go to another problem, and chances are that you might understand the next problem. So new problem. This is a totally new problem. Okay, the same thing, the same old stuff. This is a Cisco Catalyst 2950 series, and the same activity 1.2, 1.7.1.7 activity. So this is going to be a different, it's a little bit different than what we did before, but we're going to apply what you have just learned on chapter 1. Okay, so if you are doing this activity, chances are that you have read the topic before doing this. Also, now this is our source MAC address and this is our destination. It means this PC right here is trying to send a frame to this PC. Okay, and this PC has a broadcast frame right here. Look at that, it's FF. So this is also a different scenario. So what happened is, does the switch knows about OD? It doesn't know about OD. So when OD sends this frame to this switch right here, this switch learns about this. It learns about the PC that sends that frame through the ingress port. So first of all, question 2, our first answer is going to be that the switch will add the source MAC address to the MAC table. So first of all, so that the switch knows about the PC that sends that frame. The second is the destination is also not part of, it's not on the MAC table. It means that this switch has never communicated with this device. Okay, so it has no idea about where it's located or where it is. So it has to send a broadcast frame. A broadcast frame is forwarded frame and will be forwarded to all ports, so that whoever has that MAC address will respond to that request. Okay, so on that note, you choose the first 2. So you come over here, all these PCs are connected to the switch. Okay, so OA is connected, so we have to choose port 1. So because this switch doesn't, this is his first time of communicating with this switch right here, when it sends the frame, the switch learns about this PC. So it's going to add this PC to the MAC table, and that is what we have chosen the answer right here. The next thing is the switch sends what a broadcast to every connected PC, and that is what we are going to do right now. So the connected PCs are OA, OB, OC, and port 9. So let's look at OA is on port 1, right? OA is on port 1. OB is on port F3, okay? And OC, look at OC right here, look at OC. OC is on port 5, so you're going to click on port 5. This is the ingress port, okay? That is the port the frame came out from, so it's not going to go through that same port, okay? So we're not going to choose port 7, but port 9 is right there, so we have to choose port 9, because when it sends out the broadcasts, every connected port will receive, every connected PC through a port will receive that frame. So to the best of my knowledge, I think that is the best answer. So let me go and check my answer and see. Yes, we successfully answered all questions based on information in the frame MAC table. So let's do another one more problem. If you are following, chances are that you are doing very good. So we have another problem. This is so funny and it's amazing. It's a great tool. We thank CISCO for giving us this very important tutorial. I understand it very well. I cannot keep it to myself. I feel like I have to share with the world, the whole networking academy, so that everybody can get to know how to do it. It's very interesting when you know how to do it. So I cannot keep it myself. I'm just sharing it. This is for the purpose of education. I am not doing it for any purpose. I'm just want to share it with the networking academy team, so that everybody will know how it is when what goes on in the switch. So this is also another problem right here. I'm not going to talk too much on this. This is our source PC OB, and our destination is OE. And fortunately, our destination is part of the media access table, so we are not going to send a broadcast. Okay, so when this PC sends a frame to this port, the ingress port, what happened is that it learns about this PC, and unfortunately you can see that OB is, this PC is not on the MAC table. So the first thing it does is it learns about the PC, so you have to click on that one first. Now because the destination address is on the MAC table, we do not have to send a broadcast, right? So we have to send a unicast to a specific port, because now the switch has learned about the device, so it sends it only toward port F9. Okay, and we have one more question to do here, because when the switch learns about OB, it adds OB to the MAC table, and that is this. So what happens here? Frame is a broadcast frame and will be forwarded to all ports? No. Frame is a unicast frame and will be forwarded to a specific port only. Frame is a unicast frame and will be forwarded to all ports. Frame is a unicast frame but will be dropped. So you can see that all these are not exactly what it is, because once the switch knows about the destination, it's not going to send anything to, it's not going to send a broadcast to any device on the network. So the switch is very intelligent, honestly. So let me choose frame is a unicast frame and it will be sent to specific port only. Okay, and once I choose that, I'll go ahead and check my answer. Yes, you successfully answered all questions based on the information in the media access table, and this is amazing. Okay, when you have problem, when you're doing this on Network Academy website and you're having problem, you can click on this help button right here and it will give you a lot of information. I hope this tutorial was very nice and is helpful to you. If you think this is very helpful to you, hey, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and recommend my channel to other networking team. Thank you.